Okay, so here's the modification I've been making. Sorry about the background noise, that's a heater. So instead of using a bushing like I did in this one, I'm using a bearing now because I believe that's where some of the friction and stuff is, the tightness that I'm getting in the elevators. So I needed to make the bearing adjustable, so I made a bigger slot for the bearing to slide up and down. On the bottom I put a plate that will allow the all thread to go through it, but this will rest down against it. I created this little, pull it out, this little piece here with a, I just took the drill bit, you saw me do that, I just kind of put an indentation on the back side of it, probably about 1/8 inch deep or a little more, and then I sharpened the tip of this screw that I mounted here. I didn't get it quite perpendicular, but it'll work for this application. And then this I can use to tighten it up instead of having to manually try to push things. And all the pressure is going to be going that direction, so this only needs to be able to push that direction. Finally, what's going to prevent this from popping up and out? Well, the all thread is going to be fixed on the elevator, and so I'm just going to put a couple of nuts down here and lock them together just right above this section, and as the all thread turns, this will never tighten because it'll be jammed up against another nut, but it'll prevent the whole thing from popping up, and I'll show you what I mean here in a bit. Okay, today's wrap up. You can see that I replaced the bushings with bearings. I didn't weld it on as heavily as I did last time, just in case I need to make changes again. But so far testing is pretty good. If you look at this side, basically you can see I made a, well, first of all, these jam nuts here are just preventing this bearing from popping out of its raceway here. And then I have a little piece of steel here, as I showed you earlier, that I can mechanically just, tighten. And I actually got it pretty tight. I may loosen it up a little bit, but I started doing some preliminary tests, and it wasn't as tight, but it wasn't as good as I had hoped. So I loosened up this chain back here. Let me go to the other side of the table. I loosened up that chain. You might be able to see the sag in it a little bit. And I don't dare loosen it any more than that. I may still need to take up some of the slack with, not by tightening the chain so much as by putting in something that'll take up the slack, kind of like an idler. And then this chain actually came off. I have it loose enough that it came off. I need to probably tighten a little bit, but the preliminary test shows that as soon as I loosen those chains up a little bit, a lot of the binding and stuff that I was having started to disappear. It's still not perfect, so I still may need to check the top of each one of these and loosen them up a little bit. I know there's at least one or two of them that were probably tighter than I'd hoped, but they ought to be easy to loosen up. So that's today's update. Making progress. It's not perfect, but we're getting there.